Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, and I'm joined today by Chris. Say hello, Chris.
Hello.
Right now, this is a bit of a weird one. Last week or so, the main sort of 40k, I'd say, topic, for want of a better word, has been obviously the prices around some of GW's products, namely the Necron Pariah Nexus Space Marine Kill Team box set, which is like 95 quid, and then the two sort of like box sets that came alongside it. I think they're up for pre-order now. I think they're coming out at the end of this week. The Necron Royal Court and is it Honored of the Chapter? And
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and basically the prices around them, and I think from the from the interaction and this and the feedback I've seen on the internet, I think the community has basically greeted this with an overwhelming, it's not good. It's not gone down well with the community. I was looking on YouTube the other day, and obviously you got the lads like Kirioth and Chapter Master Varak, who have I think they have quite I say extensive or a decent amount of contacts within GW or within this sort of like sphere of 40k or Age of Sigmar in general. And I saw Chapter Master Varak had done a video in regards to something called the Imperium Magazine, and I'm like, well, what's that? So I look into his video, and this is complete shock to me. I didn't even know this was a thing, and I think I can assume it's the same with you as well, Carter, because I mean I only made you aware of it today.
Yeah, I didn't know this was a thing.
No.
I don't know how long it's been going for, to be honest.
No, it caught me completely by surprise. I knew there was a previous magazine that GW had released with Death Guard and Space Marines in it, which was, it released into like quite a big set at the end of it. But apparently, this new one that's coming out, like I say, it's called the Imperium Magazine. If you want to look at it for yourselves, guys, you can Google like just Imperium Magazine. You'll get to where you need to go eventually. And basically, if you subscribe to this magazine, and there are two subscriptions. There's the regular subscription and the premium subscription. At the end of the subscription, you should have like a large Imperium force and a large sort of Necron force with terrain. I mean, I'll throw up a picture. It's sort of like it's a very low resolution picture, I think.
Yeah, I think they've done that on purpose, though.
Yeah. Well, I'll try and throw up a picture of the video just so you can see the sort of like volume of content. This is the regular subscription, what we're looking at here. They're not the premium subscription. And it looks like this magazine is, well, it's sort of like, it looks like a better saving prospect on the surface of it than obviously the box sets that GW are doing right now. So it's worthwhile talking about and just highlighting. So obviously, I mentioned it to yourself, Chris, and I mentioned it to Jamie over WhatsApp, and we decided as a group, three of us, we're going to subscribe to the premium subscription and split the cost three ways. And we want to see how much we actually spend on the premium subscription in the end, how much all these models would be if we bought them, including the paints and the paintbrushes, because I count that as sort of like, you're paying for them as well, how much they would be if you bought them individually from GW. And look at what kind of saving ultimately is made at the end. Also, I'm going to try and tie into the end of this sort of experiment. If we, obviously, there's not a lot here for you and me, Chris. That's why we chose the premium subscription, which I'll go into in a minute or two. Well, at the end of this, we will put the models that we don't require or don't want onto Electronic Bay and see how much money we can recuperate back at the end of it, and see where we are. I think this would be quite an interesting little endeavor, a little experiment. But Chris, I did say that you did say that you were going to look into this, and before the video, you were quite animated about what you'd find out, what you seem to have gleaned to be an insight into the costings of this. So I'm handing the reins over to you. Why don't you talk us through, well, what we've really got ourselves in for on the surface of it?
Yeah. I was curious because when you look at the website, it's really trying to push you into making a fast decision. Like, you need to subscribe now to get your hands on all these extra models and everything. And on the surface of it, you think, oh Jesus, there's shitloads of stuff here. Yeah, I'll sign up. Oh, premium, an extra £2 a month. Yeah, I'll go for that as well. So I was curious actually when we were going to sign up for it, more so for an experiment. I quite liked the idea of signing up and getting it a little bit more. I'm kind of getting a little bit more into the hobby again now. I'm starting to get my motivation back, and sort of having the magazine and things as well seemed quite appealing to me. But I wanted to break it down and have a look at what you were getting, and these types of things, the design so that they make more money than what the actual what they're actually giving you in terms of free gifts, etc. Otherwise they're going to make a loss. It doesn't make any sense. So I wanted to have a look into that, and I started having a look into more of the detail in terms of how it all works, when you get certain gifts, etc., etc. So it's broken down into issues. There are a total of 80 issues, and there are 4 issues per month. So the first delivery, you get issues as part of your subscription. When you sign up, you get 1 issue free from what the website says. So, if we signed up on week 1 for issue 1, we get issue 2 for free, which, and issue 1 is at the low price of, if you're going for standard, it's £2.99, premium is £4.99, it's just the extra £2. And then it's slightly increased for the issue 2, but obviously we're getting it for free, so we don't pay for that. I think it's like £5.99, and then the next one will be for premium, it's £7.99. So it depends where you come in, maybe. I'm not quite sure how it works with that. But you get those 2, I think, as part of your first delivery, and then thereafter you get 4 issues per delivery, so once per month. And I think you get billed per month, so you're not, because it comes out, obviously you have an issue for every week, so you get just you pay for that total month, and then you get it all delivered in one go. Okay, with me so far?
Okay. Yep. But I just want to reiterate, I've already pulled the trigger on this, so we're in this now.
We're in this. Although, just to clarify for people that if you haven't already made the decision, or you've made the decision, it's a rash decision, and you hadn't really sort of taken the time to look into it, and you listen to this now, and we start to dive into things. And again, this is from what I've been able to glean online. I've tried to be to pick up as much as possible, so hopefully I've got as much of it as right as as possible. But you can cancel whenever you want throughout the subscription. I think once you cancel, though, you then won't be able to necessarily you obviously get to keep everything that you've got up till then, once you've paid for it, etc. But you won't be able to, I don't think, a number of weeks or months down the line, be able to sign back up for it again and get access to the free gifts, etc. I think so. I think if you want to secure certain elements of it, like certain like the premium special gifts, etc., you need to sign up within the first, with it before issue 6. So that would be before the end of the second month of this being sort of on sale, this particular subscription, I believe. Again, I think I'm right with that anyway. But standard pricing then for every issue after your issue 2 is £8.99, and then premium is £10.99. Now, obviously, there's over 80 issues. Well, there's 80 issues in total. So the total amount for standard across I think it works out at about 21 deliveries, I think it is. Is £704 approximately.
Oh shit! Oh wow!
Yeah. Premium is £862.
Oh, fucking hell! Ouch!
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I was laughing before when I was speaking to you and Jamie about it, and we were trying to work out, well, like you were confident that you were going to get your money's worth. At that point, I was thinking, yeah, they're definitely making a killing off this compared to what you get, and you still look like you get a lot. And again, we can't really tell exactly what we're getting from that wide shot that they put up on the website. You do get a lot in there. And from breaking it down, I've tried to, from what I can see, taking a screenshot and zooming in, I've just looked at the Necron stuff for now. And again, we're going to keep calculating this. So we'll do another episode in a few weeks once we've had the first issues to get, give our feedback on what we think it is. And to also, like, at that point, we might have a more precise sort of idea on what the costs are going to be for all the free gifts and everything, and say, like, work out at what point you will have spent what to get what you want. You might only want to go up to a certain stage of the subscription to get to secure what you want. So looking at the Necron side of things, I've worked out that within that, it looks like you get the full Royal Court. So this is going off GW's website's prices as well. So the full price is not any discounts. These guys will obviously, with all these models, with the amount that they're going to be shifting, will get a discount in terms of what they're putting on. How it works out between them, I don't know. But so there is going to be a cost saving element there for them. But in the Necron side of things, it looks like you get a Royal Court, which is £68 on its own, 2 Warrior boxes, which is 58 quid. So you've got the 20 Warriors there and the 6 Scarab bases, Scorpec Destroyers, which is 34.50, 2 Locust Heavy Destroyers at £42 for the 2, a Triarch Stalker, £32.50, Annihilation Barge, £30, Lich Guard, 30 quid, Canoptic Spider, 25, Immortals, 25. I think there's death marks in there, down in the very bottom right corner if you're looking at the image. That's 25. Looks like there might be some of the new flayed ones in there, and judging from the price of the old ones and what that sort of size of squad sort of roughly costs, I'm going to put them down at 30 quid as well for now, but that's not confirmed obviously because we don't know what that's going to be yet. Tomb Blades, £30, Wraiths, £32.50, and a Cryptek at £20. All in all, giving us, as long as I've done my maths right, which I think I have, giving us a total of £482.50. That's
Right.
just for the Necrons. Roughly, the Space Marine side of things, I'd imagine, is going to be a similar sort of costing. And I have noticed that, if you haven't looked at the picture yet and you haven't spotted this, Gulliman is in that. So you do get a free Gulliman at some point throughout the subscription. I imagine he's probably going to be one of the last issues, if not the last delivery, probably. But you've also then got, as well as what, so that's already about £964 worth of stuff. If you're paying full price off GW's website, you've then got the terrain. You also get, from looking at the website, you get things like, as part of the different issues, there is the Royal Warden in issue 1, and also the Primaris Lieutenant, which I think is a limited edition. You can only get it as part of the subscription. The Primaris Lieutenant as well as dice, not going to cost much. Ruler, again, not going to cost much, and a small mat. What that is, though, in terms of quality, etc., I don't know. It's hard to see. And then you get different things across all the different issues and deliveries, etc., that come with it. So there is a fair bit, and you get also then your free gifts. Again, I was trying to work out what the costing of these were. You do get a modelling kit. I can't see a cost for the modelling kit on the website. I can't see those particular clippers or cutters and the mold remover on there as separate items to purchase. They're not the separate ones, the fine cutters and the other mold remover tool that they have on there. So the costing of them, I don't know what that's going to be, but that's free as part of your first delivery. Your third delivery in, so that's going to be month 3. If you think about it, it's not issue 3, it's month 3, it's delivery 3. That is going to be binders and dividers. Again, what that looks like and what that is exactly, I couldn't say. 4th delivery is a paintbrush set. One of the, again, how much you get in there. The essential brush selection includes a large base brush, small base brush, and a medium shade brush. So, yeah, it's a nice little extra maybe. Again, cost-wise, this is all stuff that will add up over the coming weeks, or as we sort of delve into this a little bit more going forward, and we do a future episode. Painting handle, what's that about? 10 quid, something like that. That's on your 5th delivery, and then your 7th delivery, you get some art prints.
Right.
Now, actually, out of curiosity, your 7th delivery would take you up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and let me just very quickly work this out. I don't know if you want to give your thoughts on that so far, Ben, just while I'm working this out.
Well, let me just sound off instantly. So we've signed up for the premium service. So what's the final cost coming it roughly in for ours? Roughly.
If you were to stay with the entire subscription,
Yeah. If you were to see it through to the end, how much would we have paid, or how much are we going to pay for the premium subscription?
between all three of us, £862.21.
Well, already we have we will have made a saving because, like you said, just the units on their own are coming into roughly about that price, aren't they?
Yeah, over that. Yeah.
Over that.
For GW prices, obviously, if whatever you're selling on, you're not going to sell for the same price that GW does. So you're not going to necessarily be making that full shebang, but you're going to be, you could make a decent chunk of that back. And I think Jamie's obviously going to want to keep some of the Necron stuff that comes up because there's going to be stuff he doesn't have. But yeah,
but that's not the full story for us, though, is it, Chris? Because as premium subscription, we get access to other armies as well, don't we?
We do. Now, for what I can tell, you get for your first free premium gift, you get some Chaos Space Marines, which I was like, ooh, goody. That's on top of everything else that you get as part of the standard subscription.
Yeah.
So you get a Chaos Space Marine, additional magazine book, which has obviously got some stuff to do with the models in there, maybe some background lore, painting guides, all that type of stuff. You get what looks like to be 2 Greater Possessed.
Which are not available yet still, are they?
No, not unless you go on eBay and buy from scalpers, which I may have done.
Yeah.
You've got then a squad of Space Marines.
Yeah, of the Chaos variety.
And a sorcerer by the looks of it,
Nice.
And then on the second free gift, you get the Tyranids, which is the lovely old sculpts of your Gaunts
and the Genestealers.
And Genestealers, and is it a Broodlord?
Yes, the new Broodlord, which is still a decent model.
What you don't necessarily realise, Ben, is that the first free gift for premium, if you look into the frequently asked questions, the first free gift for premium comes in on issue 15, which is delivery 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 5th delivery, we get the Chaos Space Marines. The second one, free gift, which is yours, which is what you're interested in, is then 2 months after that. So to get to the Chaos, just for me to get my Chaos Space Marines, we will have spent £119.86. To get to your Tyranids, we've spent £218.75.
Right. I can understand where obviously you're giggling over this because I'm trying to look at this from a sort of a savings perspective because the money's not coming out all in one great big hit. So
no, it comes like I say, you get charged for the month, so it's going to be about £32 around that each month that you're paying.
So, and I think we also get Orcs and Tau in the premium.
The third one comes in. Oh, that's it. Issue 51. And then the final one, Orcs, is at issue 69.
And that does not. We're not accounting for the terrain as well because that terrain in this picture, that's a
decent terrain.
That's
the AdMech, or I forget what it's called actually on GW's website, but
the Promethean generators, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can try and pull it up now. But yeah, there's some nice terrain in there. What would it come under? It's going to be... Well, let's go. All terrain.
Like I said, I mean, like I say, doing very rough maths, I think if you're going to pay full price for everything here, like the premium subscription gives you, you'd be looking at over £1,000, I think.
Yeah, in terms of full price for stuff, I reckon, you're talking over £1,000's worth of stuff. What's interesting, actually, is just having a look on, you've got some of the Forge World Battlefields, etc. sets under terrain, and they come with small mats. And obviously it does give you a small mat, and then it says it gives you a large mat, which seems to be, looks like there's a large mat in the Command Edition Battlefield expansion set as well. So it might be those. It might be official mats that you're getting from GW. So they're officially, their official product. So yeah, you are getting a lot because you're getting the ISO containers, aren't you? You're getting like the reactors and generators, which are 30 quid each, as well as the other bits. So yeah, you're getting a fair bit. I'm really interested in it still because I'm quite, like I said, I quite like the idea of having a look at the magazines, seeing what's in there. And what I'm curious about as well is what's the difference between this and White Dwarf? Because it's coming from a separate company. It's a third-party company. These guys also, a number of years ago, released the book series, which had all your Horus Heresy stuff, I believe. And I subscribed to that for a duration, again, to get the free gifts at the time. And that was good. The quality of the books were fantastic. And this company doesn't just deal with Games Workshop, it deals with other IPs as well, and covers a lot of other things. So yeah, I think the quality is going to be pretty decent. You're obviously getting official merchandise as well. So all in all, do I think it's worth it? Yes, provided you are, unless you want to have everything, you want to collect all that yourself. I mean, this is more akin to because the models like the Necrons and the Space Marines, how they're broken up. It doesn't give any detail at the moment.
Well, it's not just Space Marines, though, is it? It's not just Space Marines.
It's Space Marines, AdMech as part of that force, and also Sisters. But on the Xenos side, it is purely just Necrons.
Yes.
But yeah, so you're getting those 3 different factions as well as Gorman at some point. But you don't know when they're coming into across the subscription, because this is obviously like I said, 21 weeks. It's nearly 2 years. Not 21 weeks, 21 months. Sorry. So it's nearly 2 years worth of subscription.
This is an interesting point, Chris, because it got me thinking when this just came out. It's like GW. It's got obviously multiple ways of obviously getting its product into your hands. Obviously, you've got straight to its store, you've got its web store, you've got your sort of independent retail shops like that, and a lot of the time that when GW is selling you its product, it's either individual units or it'll lump everything together in like a big box set sort of thing. And I was thinking to myself, well, with a subscription service like this, where it gives you, where it draws out your purchase over a larger sort of time frame for, like you just said, about 2 years, and it gives you a little bit, I think it would really benefit a lot of people who suffer from, obviously, like hobby blowout, for want of a better word, or burnout rather, where obviously you're looking at your big pile of grey and just like, oh, you got to make inroads into this and that kind of thing. Whereas, like, if it gives you a model or a couple of models a month, plus a magazine to get you interested in it, I'm thinking to myself, it's not a bad business model, and I think it would really suit. For me personally, if they said, "Hey Ben, we're doing a subscription where you could be a Tyranid player where you're gonna get a magazine or a little novella, short story, whatever it is, every month, and you're gonna get like 1 or 2 cultists, maybe 1 or 2 nids, that kind of thing. She's still called Tyranids every month, and it's gonna be this amount a month. You're gonna save on it. You're gonna save money, but it's gonna be a longer period of sort of time. I mean, I'd be interested in it. It's something I can see myself buying, because I'd be like a nice little reward.
Yeah.
Obviously, then I'd imagine GW would want to double dip on that with obviously doing its other releases as well. It's like, oh god, look at this brand new thing that you're gonna get here, and you're like, oh, I've got the subscription, and now I want this. So I can see it working for a lot of people. For people who have the restraint, like, you know what, I'm just going to subscribe to this. I'll wait for it to come to the door, and it'd be a nice little thing for me.
Yeah, I completely agree, mate. I'm exactly the same on it. If they did something which was, very, I say unique. Obviously, every faction would have its own sort of one, I guess. But if they did one way it was just chaos focused stuff, I'd be like, yeah, I'm down for that. because if I could do a subscription where I thought, okay, I can factor that into, because I like my budgets in terms of all budgeting for the month, etc. But I thought if I could budget for that, like what you do with Netflix or any other service that you pay for, you get a lot of entertainment out of the hobby. If you paid £9 a month, you get a magazine and you get a couple of models maybe across it. And, that could be just over a given time, and they have a set release structure for that in terms of what models you're going to get. I think that's a really interesting business model. Whether or not GW would do it, or whether it would be something that would be better outsourced like this is to another company for them to handle. But kind of aside from that, what it also made me think about earlier, Ben, because this works, obviously talking about it now and working out the cost, it's a lot of money, but you can figure out, or you can work out that actually you can make a lot back from it if you're willing to then put it up, if you're willing to sell it on afterwards for the stuff that you don't want to keep necessarily. If you want to keep it all, then you are spending a lot, but you're making a saving from buying it from scratch. Whether or not you would go out your way to buy all this from scratch, or like buy all this if it wasn't for the subscription, if you know what I mean, I don't know. But what I did think about was this is actually a good model, or this is what GW should have done with the app. And I don't mean necessarily physical models, but in terms of enticing people in, giving people content that they get per month. We've talked about this, I know, a number of times, and I don't want to go into it because we've done it. We've exhausted the conversation. Until it changes, there's no point. But this is...
No. We've not exhausted the conversation.
No,
I'm sure.
For now, until they do something else, which we can then moan about. But I just mean that this is a really good example of how this sort of subscription service should be done, and that's what they should have done with the app, where you get, rather than physical content, you get digital content. And the digital content can be locked within the subscription, within the app, so you can't just take it away and keep it afterwards. At least with all this stuff, you get to keep it even if you cancel. But they could have done, like what we said, the audiobooks. You get a free one each month you can listen to. Whatever it is, it's stuff to keep the hobbyist happy and to sort of think, I want to subscribe to this, because not only am I getting the base, the core element of it, which is the army list, the army building, etc., and what it does have available to it, but I'm also getting this extended stuff as well.
Well, like I say, I don't want to beat down on the app in this particular object, because I would relish any opportunity to beat down on that app. But that aside, I think with this particular subscription service, obviously the hard materials through the post, through the letterbox, it wouldn't work on it wouldn't work if you were doing like a faction specific. I don't think it would work or would make business sense to do a faction specific release. Like if you just did something for like Drakari, for instance, or you just did one for like it definitely wouldn't work for Yannari. It'd be one fucking book and that's it. You know what I mean? It wouldn't work. So the only way you'd probably get away with it is by doing, the only way they think they can get away with it is by doing sort of like what they've done here. Basically, you've got two large forces. The Imperium's like a sort of like a soup, if you want, and obviously the Necrons are like a pure Necron force. And that's the only way that you're going to get into it. But I think as a community, it would be worthwhile that people reach out and say, listen, I'm interested in, friends and hobby groups would be like, I'm interested in getting a subscription, hands up, who wants to go halves with me or, thirds with me. And we split this stuff down. And whatever we don't want, we flog on eBay, that kind of thing. Or, break the cost down. I think it might be worthwhile if like hobbyists can get together like that. But it's something that obviously, I think it's going to be an interesting experiment when obviously we come to the end of this and we're like, right, this is how much we spent, this is what we got, this is what we kept, this is what we managed to sell on, and this is the end cost. Because I'm under no delusions, we ain't going to make money off this. I think that's the wrong attitude to have, because this is like a hobby at the end of the day. It's not you're not in it to make money. If you can, if you can make money back selling whatever you don't want, then that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if you make money back, you can then invest that into other, units that you do want to have. I'm seeing it, like I said, I want to have a look at the magazines. I want to engage in the hobby
Yes.
a little bit more. And this, for me, is something, and also I was curious, like, I wanted to see what this was going to be like as an experiment and for us to, create great content that you're listening to right now. So,
Oh,
yeah.
the content, children. Think of the content.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a means for me to engage with the hobby that I am starting to get back into again and starting to get like some real enjoyment from. So yeah, I it's more than just trying to make money back. It gives me the opportunity. I get some free stuff, which I like. Obviously, with the premium service later on down the subscription, it's trying to tempt you into keeping that subscription service, so you're paying for it.
To be completely fair, mate, I'm also of the opinion and I've sort of like developed this opinion over these last couple of weeks. Thinking about it, I'm of the opinion that now, more than ever, the ability to take, because obviously GW do multiple builds, multiple different weapon options, that kind of thing, and they charge a premium for it, like we've said before. And I think the ability as a hobbyist to reap what you want from that product, construct what you want, build, paint what you want, and then whatever's left over, if you want to keep stuff in your bit box, that's fine. But I think it's also more relevant now in this particular hobby to take what you do not require and able to put it out there to try and recuperate funds to lessen that initial cost again. So obviously it's like it's becoming almost a sort of like an exercise of sort of like shaving down that cost, that initial the price that GW is setting, because we can all agree that GW prices have increased. We're not going to get into the pros and cons, reasons why for and against, but so you don't shop from GW, you shop from a third party. That saves cost off. You take what you want and you try and flog it on eBay or another third party, and you save the cost back. And you're trying to minimize the cost of your hobby, which I think now more than the past now is more and more part of the hobby, sort of thing. Not the major part, not the building, the painting, the playing, because that's the three pillars of hobby. The creativity and the fun aspect of it. But I think that kind of a way of minimizing the cost to yourself is getting more and more relevant.
Yeah,
which is why I'm interested to see by the end of it how big a dent we can put in that particular into the cost of this particular package.
Just before we finish, just to slightly correct myself from earlier, I hadn't added up the correct column before for what you had to spend to get up to the first premium gift, which is the Chaos, and then for us, obviously, it's the second gift for you, Ben, which is the Tyranids. So for premium, you will have had to have paid up to that point £147.86 for the Chaos, whereas normally at that point you've paid £119. Bearing in mind, obviously, the premium just allows you to get access to those additional free gifts, which is the Chaos Space Marines and the Book, Tyranids, the Tau, and then the Orcs. I've just worked out, like, for me, the difference between the premium and the standard versions at that stage is 28 quid. I think from the models that you're getting, you've made a saving there already. Tyranids, you've spent £345 up until that point, and the standard edition is 281. So there's a difference of 64 quid. I think that's right. I don't know whether that's particularly cost effective.
Listen, at that point, Bud, I'd say it's probably not for that particular Tyranid box. The only thing the Gene Steel sculpt that we have now is old, and so is the Gaunt sculpt. The only thing in there that is of a recent GW quality, quote end quote, is the Broodlord.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess I think just for clarification, really, or for clarity, sorry, and for you guys to sort of weigh up in your own minds whether you think it's worth having the premium service. If you're just holding out, if you think, oh, I'll go premium because I really want those free Tau, work out what you've got to spend to get up to that point. Because, like I said, you don't get that until issue 51. And then orcs, you're pretty much right up towards the end. It's like 4 months from the end of the subscription, so you're not getting it anytime soon, and you will have had to have paid quite a bit to get up to that. And what the difference is in terms of from the standard to premium to get those orcs, is it worth it? Could you have just purchased those separately for less? I don't know. For like me, for the chaos, it seems pretty legit. It seems reasonable. 28 quid, as long as I've done that right. So yeah, just
Well, like I say,
have a good think before you invest. That's all I'd say.
Yeah, before anyone pulls the trigger on this, you can opt out whenever you want. You're not tied into anything. Nope. Just have a think about it if this is kind of you want to go down. But we will do our best here to review these things as they come through the door. To go through the magazines, what you get, and at the end of it, I think it's going to be interesting. But by all means, let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Does this particularly interest you? You're not fussed about this kind of thing. Did it come out? Were you taken completely by surprise like we were? Looking forward to all that good stuff. And well, yeah, we'll keep an eye on and we'll keep you guys informed. But until then, me and Chris, we will catch you next time. See you later.
Thank you very much. See you. Bye.